Too exciting today. So you're now being recorded if anyone, so watch your mouth. That's basically the bottom line. So first I want to welcome our two newest members to the American Homes family. Haida Abreu, she's not on camera, but you can unmute yourself and say hello, Haida. And Lancelot Hewitt. Haida is
welcome, both of you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
morning, and thank you.
Laurie.
Thank you.
Lance
I'm
joins
driving
us.
to an appointment, so
Oh,
I'm listening to everything.
okay. Be careful. Be careful.
Thank you.
What is this? Somebody's trying to get in time for kids to get back to school. Who is that? I'm curious to see who that is. It's their log on me. So, it's him? You're the time for kids to get back to school login? That's odd.
You what? You talking to me?
Yeah, your login is time for kids to get back to school.
I had to switch it. We had a board of ed meeting crazy board of ed meeting the other night. So they wanted everybody putting up signs about kids going back to school. So I changed it. I thought I changed it. I changed the back, the wallpaper.
So, well, as I'm home in quarantine because the school has 40 kids out, I'm in disagreement of that today.
So from close contact, or they had an outbreak?
Some idiot had a party during the spring break and it spread like wildfire.
So it was Nikki. I thought it was
positive for 40 quarantines.
I'm Mikey.
I don't know how many positive cases. There's at least 40 seniors was the thing, but every day we're getting notes of, 5 to 10 kids. So,
yeah, so that, right. So the spring break party has nothing to do with the kids being back full time, though.
No, I agree. I just, I'm going to bubble everybody.
Only that they spread it to the rest of the school.
Well, that's what happened.
Well, they got to stay home if they're positive, but it has nothing to do with the.
Well, word had it was a basketball party. So it was related
Blame
to
the
sports.
tall ones.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. That's not the topic of the meeting today. So just looking at the numbers, you guys all got the agenda today. We only took one listing so far in March, so a little light, but I know you guys are all working on some stuff. So let's see if we can't push those people off the fence a little bit. Under contract, I have 2 here, although Doreen let me know that she put 2 things into contract last night. So thank you, Doreen. Yay. So we'll have a couple more there. We closed 2 sales so far. Again, I have another check waiting for me at the office, which Helene, stay on after we're done. So I need to ask you a question about that.
Sure.
So, their closings are a little bit light, but year to date, we are up. So we've closed a little over $200,000 more this year than we did last year at this time.
Excellent.
Well, remember, this is about the time, next week is when we shut down. I was the only one in the office and then almost got shot at depositing Joe Records closing checks. Not to place any fingers, Joe, but so hopefully, let's knock on wood that this is not going to happen again, and we're over that. So if we continue at this pace, we're going to have the record-breaking year that we deserve because you guys have all been working hard. So let's just keep up the great work, okay? To those of you that are participating in the sales contest, kudos, because I'm definitely seeing results, I have to say. So you guys are doing the things in order to get points, and while you're all kidding, can I get points for this, can I get points for that? You're doing it. You're doing stuff and it's resulting in results. So, keep it up. It's a little motivation to get you guys going. You get, silly little prizes here and there and a nice grand prize. But those of you that are participating, you guys who aren't participating, keep this in mind for next year because I'm seeing results definitely this year through the agents that are doing the work. And it's not only our top producers, which, they consistently do work, but every now and then you guys need a kick in the butt. So I think that's helping you. And, but I have newer agents that are actually, and even, part-time agents that were a little dormant that are participating that are kicking it in. So I applaud your efforts. So we just finished week 3. We have 1 more week to go. and we will announce the grand prize winner next Friday for that. So I encourage the rest of you, do what you got to do. If you need a kick in the butt, give me a call. All right, I'm here. That's what I'm good at. You know, mom of 2 boys. I know how to move you into action if I need to. So call me. All right. So just a reminder, if you guys didn't see the emails that I've been sending about the testers, I'm hearing story after story of people that are encountering what they think are testers. So bottom line, make sure from the minute you pick up the phone, especially if it's a sign call, an internet call, we don't really have walk-ins, but we have been getting a couple of knocks at the door this past week. So make sure, however you start the conversation with them, you're doing it all along. If it's a buyer and you tell them, I can't take you out to get pre-approved, you better be saying that to everybody, okay? If it's a renter and you tell them, I need a rental application, I need the agency, fair housing, all of that filled out, you do it with one, you do it with all, okay? Do not, where you get in trouble is where you sway from your normal routine. That's where they get you, right? Again, we're staying away from, I had it myself, I got a referral last night from a neighbor, and the guy said, I only want to be in a good neighborhood. Oh my God, people just don't get it, you know? So I can't determine what you think is good versus what I think is good. So you need to tell me. I said, I'll send you everything that meets your criteria. He gave me a price range. He said he needs a basement, he needs a garage. So I'll send you everything that meets that criteria. You tell me what you want to see, what you don't want to see, okay? And if he tells me, all right, well, I don't want Peninsula Boulevard because it's too busy of a street. Okay, now I know I can weed out Peninsula Boulevard because it's too busy of a street. That's a perfectly good reason to rule out areas. You know, I don't want to be, you know, close to the train. It's too noisy. I don't want to be, you know, on a busy street because I'm afraid my kids will run into the street or my dog will run into the street, whatever it may be. All right, those are valid reasons. But if they say I don't want to be in a certain area because of ... you can't hear that. All right, that is not what we listen to. That is a blatant violation of fair housing. So be extra cautious because they are out there and they're in full effect. All right, so be careful. All right, you guys have all been trained properly, so there's no reason why you shouldn't do it the right way. So if you get into the habit of doing everything the right way the first time, you will have no problems. Okay. Other than that, I'm still waiting on independent contractor and fair housing forms. So please get those to me. It's now March. I sent those out in January. So for those of you that haven't filled them out yet, please do so. Okay. If you need me to resend them, let me know. Reminder, it went to your personal email address, not your Century 21 email address. It went to your personal email address. All right. So please get those back to me. So, I mean, that's really all I had. Sorry, not so motivational today, but what are you guys seeing out there? What are you encountering?
The same. Lines and lines, open houses. Testers are going in to see how many people. I was at an open last week, and the agent said to me, you're not going to believe it, someone in my office just got a huge fine for letting more than 2 people in at a time. So be careful. Don't let anyone suck at you.
So if you're doing open houses, that's a good reminder. You can only let, you know, what it's supposed to be 1 party, no more than 2 adults, still no children allowed, must be wearing masks. Yep. Right, it's a good idea for you to have wipes to wipe down doorknobs and light switches and so forth to keep everybody safe. Okay, so let's be cautious of that. Okay, I was in an open house last weekend where, you know, there was no line, and I walked in and there were people upstairs, people in the kitchen, people downstairs. He wasn't regulating anybody at all. So I said to my buyers, I'm like, you're okay if we wait outside? And they said, absolutely, we're not going in there with that many people. So, you know, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. If that makes sense.
Last weekend, I think, was a little tougher because it was raining and it was cold. You know, the weekends, the ones prior when the sun was out a little bit, pretty nice. And just standing outside talking to people who are online, you know, they're bored, you know, in just a good way, you know, just a good way to break the ice.
Right.
hopefully, well, the sun's out, but it's pretty cold today.
It's supposed to be cold this weekend, but I hear 60-degree weather is on its way next week. So let's hope that actually happens. So just a reminder for you guys, if you're doing open houses, I told you about the one open house I went to where, I mean, this woman spoiled everybody because there were 3 open houses in the area. I think it was either Northport or East Northport. 3 split houses, all within the same price range, $20,000 difference. So we were the same group of people following each other from one to the next. So we went to this one where they had 2 people working there. The guy was inside taking the, the group around, and the woman was outside. As soon as people came up to the door, she was taking their cell phone number and she was writing a list. She's like, I'll text you when it's your turn, because it was one of those super cold weekends. And she spoiled it for everybody, because now the next 2 houses we went to, people were expecting, oh, do you want to take my information? She's like, no, just wait in line. I'll let you in when it's your turn. So, and the last one we were freezing. So, I just thought that was a great idea. You guys should be doing open houses in pairs anyway for safety reasons. So why not, instill some kind of process like that? I just thought it worked out very well, and people are a lot more pleasant when they don't have to stand out in the cold. Okay. So we're still seeing, obviously, not much inventory, right? Right. So I was hoping that snow was going to push more people off the fence, but because of COVID, they're a little hesitant to jump yet, huh? So what you guys are seeing as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I keep calling. Everybody said March. Now I'm hearing April, May.
Yeah.
I called all my on the fence people Monday and Tuesday, and that's what they said. Right.
All right. Well, just keep making your calls. I have to tell you, call your sphere of influence, right? You can call your farm areas. I'm going to have the front desk start pulling for those of you that are participating in the Franklin Square postcard program. I'm having the front desk start to pull the names and addresses. The names, cell phone numbers and email addresses for those streets for you. So we'll send that to you. I know Helene got hers.
No emails though. There were none on there.
Yeah, there were.
Were there?
There were, yeah.
We'll have to look again. Tim for that.
Yeah, there's definitely emails in
Thank you for marketing.
So, what do you call? Yes, Tim, thank you. So, that's really all I had. What do you guys have? Do you have anything that you need help with? You want me to address? Do you have any ideas for future meetings to help me out a little? No?
What happened with the competition, with the contest?
I didn't add everybody's this week. So we had some big numbers though this week. So it's going to be interesting. There might be an upset or two. We'll see. I don't know. There were some big numbers there, but it was, you guys are doing fantastic. And not be prouder of you. So, Tim, you have anything you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I do have a few things. If anybody's paying attention to what's going on in the markets now, we had good jobs number come out, which is good, but it's not that good for what we're trying to do here when we're borrowing money and that sort of thing. I think the idea is is every day more people are getting vaccinated, right? So every day more people are getting vaccinated. You're hearing some of those, some states are already kind of opening. I guess Connecticut just kind of relaxed their rules a little bit, which is it's a small state, and I think their vaccination numbers are pretty good, but it's just kind of beside the writings on the wall. We've been at a deep discount. I'm just going through Facebook right now, like my memories, like last year, and just with a post of, when the markets were going nuts this time next year, and we were having 1,200 point swings in the stock market, mortgage rates were jumping like a point in a day. So the markets were so out of whack. What we have going on right now is the writings on the wall. The economy is poised for a comeback. Every day things are getting a little bit better. They just can't keep money this cheap. Remember, rates were in the 2s. It just can't stay down here forever. And there's real fears of inflation. One of the things I was hoping for, and one of the things that stabilized the markets last year was you had the Federal Reserve come out and say they were pledging to buy billions of dollars worth of mortgage bonds. Okay. I think the Fed chairman spoke yesterday, and I think the markets were kind of looking for some type of sign that they were going to come out and make another pledge like that, just to kind of try to keep the rates down for a little while longer. And they wouldn't come out and they wouldn't say it. You know, that doesn't mean they won't make an announcement over the weekend or next week or something like that. But this is like two opportunities, because they spoke last week, two opportunities where the Fed chairman could have come out and said they would do some quantitative easing like they did last year, and he hasn't said it. It's kind of disappointed the markets. Okay. So we had a good jobs report, which is good for the economy, which means people are more likely to, or money managers are more likely to invest in more aggressive investments like stocks and sell their conservative investments like bonds. Okay. So when that happens, when bond prices go down, the yields go up, and that's what we're in the middle of right now. Okay. So if I were talking to people, the one thing I would say, if you're requiring people to have a pre-approval to go into an open house, right, or to go see a property, I would say a pre-approval that's dated 2 weeks ago is no good. It's like not having one at all, because I'm kind of redoing that now with a lot of, the same people who get beat out every weekend when they put their offers in. We've had to update these pre-approvals because people can afford less right now. Okay. So if you need a reason to talk to somebody, to reach out and make a phone call and just have a touch, that's one of the things I would be talking about is their pre-approval. You were going to take somebody out this weekend, and their pre-approval is dated, middle of February, which is a pretty recent pre-approval. That pre-approval is not good right now, and they need to have it updated. As far as, I always kind of give you Sony Mae as a benchmark. Sony Mae is still there. It's 2.625 on their Achieve the Dream program. But I would kind of just understand that as a whole, rates are going to go up as the economy gets better. All right. Does anybody have any questions on that? Very good then.
I did have a question though. One of the agents asked me yesterday, I don't know if they contacted you directly. Do you guys have programs for self-employed people? Are they able to get mortgages right now? There are, right?
Yeah, 100%. Listen, it's more difficult. We have a now, because, and the idea is this. With a wage earner, we know a wage earner is working because they get a pay stub, right? So we know if they're employed because we can see how many hours they worked the prior week. When somebody's self-employed, there's no real good way to tell that. We're really going off the prior year's tax returns. So we're getting like P&Ls every 60 days now, profit and losses. A profit and loss will kind of act as a pay stub for someone who's self-employed. Okay, because it just shows the year to date what they're doing right now. It's got to be backed up with bank statements. And we do have a whole self-employment review department now. Because it is very difficult. They are scrutinizing. I have a couple of deals for buddies of mine who are self-employed, who run really good businesses, and they're kind of ripping them apart, and it's pretty annoying because we have to go back to the accountant and ask for, a new P&L every 60 days. So, they are doing self-employed. Did you hear something to the contrary, or?
Well, I'll talk to you separately about it. I had told the agent to call you directly first.
Okay.
So I don't know if they did or not. So I just wanted to find out if there was something I didn't know about. So, and it's good information for everyone to know, because we all deal with, all different kinds of.
Yeah, those are the kind of rumors that you can't let.
Right, exactly.
Kind of spread a little bit.
Oh no, you're self-employed, so you can't get a mortgage. Nope. That's not the case. Okay, good, perfect. All right, anybody else have anything that they want to talk about? There weren't really any new listings, so there's nothing to talk about there. I know open houses, Brian, you're doing an open house at your rental in Elmont this weekend.
I'm getting a new listing in Westbury.
Oh, perfect, good, Lily.
Yeah, photographer is going there tomorrow.
Perfect, okay. What's the price?
960,000.
Oh, all right, so a fixer-upper? Okay.
It's a big house. It's like a high ranch, but custom built, has a basement next to Eisenhower Park, very nice private dead-end street. A lot of rooms, nice house. Hopefully,
What school district, Lily?
3, Salisbury. It's
Oh,
not-
that's,
yeah.
oh, that's a
It's
pretty
the one
area.
that I sold, I don't know, 6, 7, I don't know how many years ago. They decided they want to move to California. So Winter
Good
did it. Winter
Perfect.
did it.
California.
Good job, good job. Okay. So, I mean, that's a good point. I have to say, you know, I've gotten a few buyers that I sold co-ops to 10 years ago. So hopefully you guys all have your systems in place to stay in touch with your sphere of influence. I know Lily, a big portion of her business comes from past clients, from referrals. So let's make sure, you know, everybody gets frustrated. Oh, I'm doing all this stuff and nothing ever pans out. It may not pan out today. It may not pan out this year, but you never know when that person's going to come back to you. I know Sandy and Connie talk all the time about how they, you know, have people that they've been talking to for 8, 9 years and they come back. So I'm living proof. I have 2 this year, 2 people I sold co-ops to 10 years ago. They're both in the market to buy houses this year. Lily does a lot. I know, Joe, you had somebody call, an old high school friend, right? So.
Yeah, the one in Levittown also, you know, I sold her this house. I sold her house in Valley Stream and she bought it in Levittown.
Mm-hmm.
Tim knows her too. So, you know, she decided to move to Florida. So I like that. Let them move and we can make money.
That's it. Stay in touch with them because you know what? If you don't, somebody else will be in touch with them, you know? So you got to do it.
Lily, Lori.
Yeah,
Lori,
during.
I got a new listing in Valley Stream. I'm going to put it on in a little bit. It's a
Ooh.
4-bedroom cape on Pine Lane for $489.
$489. Does it have a basement?
No basement. Over there, they don't have basements. I know. But we're not going to start showing for another 10 days or so.
Okay.
Because they're still doing work. But it's adorable. It's an adorable house.
Perfect.
All right?
What are the taxes on something like that below 500 in Valley Street?
This one is so low. It's like 8,000 something.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
that's
gonna
great.
fly.
Less than 8.
Doreen, it's going to sell over 5.
I think so. We're going
It
to have bidding
probably
more.
will, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not big, but it's cute.
Yeah, one in Levittown, it was only 10,050 square foot, no basement. We had 30 people almost at the open house, Doreen knows, and multiple offers, every single of them well above asking price. And I sold it to her 2 years ago for $423. And now she's, you know, 2 years after, good profit, right?
Yep. For 2
Okay,
years.
so that actually brings me to a point I was thinking about, and thank you, Lily, you reminded me. So lately we've been encountering some issues with all of these bidding wars where people get caught up. Make sure you're preparing your sellers for the fact that the property may not appraise, okay? They get all caught up, you know, you price it where you think the market is, and then they get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 above asking. And then the problem comes in, the banks have not caught up to where the market is, as it always does, right? Okay. So it may not appraise. So what we're seeing now is we're having short appraisals. And when a seller doesn't get the amount of money that they're looking for, what's the first thing they ask you to do?
Commission.
Thank you, right? So prepare them up front, okay? Hold strong with those contracts. You signed a contract, they signed a contract for a reason. You did your job. You got them the number you said that you would get them. And it's a bonus if they're going to get more. It's not our fault if the bank doesn't come in. But make sure you're prepping your sellers adequately for that, okay? So that you don't have to have that conversation. Because I've had that conversation a few times this week alone with agents, where that's exactly where the seller wants to go. Well, I'm not getting the number that, you know, if I have to come down, then what can you do for me, all right? We have a contract. So,
Laura, yeah, the one that I sold in Suffolk County in Medford recently, my buyer went $50,000 above asking price. And first she didn't get it. Second, they came back and asked if she's gonna waive the appraiser. And, you know, the house was listed $349. And not though she didn't want it, she couldn't afford because it was FHA loan with 3.5% down. So she couldn't even do it. So guess what? The appraisal came 365.
There you go.
$35,000 shorter than what she paid, but the owner already, we told them we are not gonna waive that. So hopefully this homeowner, I think she will agree to sell it. It was a FHA appraiser. I don't know, Tim, it stays with the property 6 months? What
Yeah, at least, yep.
Yeah, so
It does. It's tied to that appraisal now is tied to that property.
Yeah, so they don't have a choice.
I'm sorry, for FHA. If you had another buyer that was conventional, it appraises for whatever.
Okay. For FHA, okay.
Okay, only for FHA. All right.
So I want to make another point to that because what Lily just said, that's why in this kind of market, 3.5%, that's a tough one, because if it doesn't appraise, you got nowhere to go. It's kind of the same thing when you have a 20% down offer. Everybody thinks like 20% is gold. 20% is not gold. 20% you'll run into problems because if it appraises $1 short, not $1, obviously people would make up the dollar, but if it appraises a little bit short, the person's going to have to pay mortgage insurance. Your 20% now becomes 18%, and now the person is paying mortgage insurance, which changes the whole game. Not that we couldn't do it. People who are putting 20% down to avoid mortgage insurance, and then the appraisal comes in short, and now they have to pay mortgage. A lot of people are anti-mortgage insurance. Put their last nickel in not to pay it, which I don't really agree with, but that's another story. But that 20% offer is almost like the 3.5% on an FHA deal. So when you're and I'm going through this with agents every weekend, when you're weighing offers and you have 5% down, $30,000 higher, that's not that great thing. That's not that great a thing right now. You're better off taking a 25, obviously all cash is best, but a 25% down offer is like the new 20% offer. A 15% down offer, not that big a deal if it appraises short and now you're a 10% down offer. That person was already paying mortgage insurance, So at 15%, you have some wiggle room. You can go, you can go to 10, and it's not that big a difference. But the 20% buyer is going to get annoyed if they most of them aren't going to do it. If they, putting down their last nickel to avoid mortgage insurance, and now they have to pay it. So just kind of something when you're weighing out those offers.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, a meeting that turned out to be nothing turns out to be something. Good. We got some good information here, I think. Go ahead, Jeff.
We're closing on North Valley Stream, Elmont area house Monday. And that's exactly what happened. It was a high down payment, about 30% down. They went to Chase Bank, and Chase Bank did like a half-assed drive-by appraisal. They brought the house in $60,000 low. So the other agent, the selling agent, myself, we challenged the appraisal, and the buyer paid for a second appraisal, and it came in spot on. So we're closing Monday for the price that we.
Wow.
And there were comps everywhere supporting the price that we're closing on Monday. So.
How was the credit, Joe? Do you know?
Credit was good.
Because we're getting appraisal waivers on everything, pretty much everything that's 20% down or more. On a purchase, we're getting an appraisal waiver.
Yeah.
I wonder, I don't really know how it works. It's all part of the Fannie Mae, like their electronic system that I don't know what parameters they have loaded in, but we're getting a lot of appraisal waivers. I just got an appraisal waiver on a cash out refi, that's the first one I've seen this year since they started waiving appraisals. I got one more question. What is that white stuff coming out of the back of Joe's hat? Is that like a hat, or what is that?
That's his deep ponytail.
Like a Guy Fieri hat?
That's my beatnik glue.
I was gonna say you're full on Woodstock mode now.
Well, it's been a year. I went to spring training this time last year. I had my hair cut just before I went. And I'm still not comfortable going to a barbershop someplace.
Karen cut it.
I'll let it grow.
Wow.
He likes it like that.
Wow.
Is anybody having difficulty or interested in needing to get vaccinations?
Well, everybody.
No, I got one the other day.
Well, I just happened to be see a news report last night. This young fellow and his family developed an app or a website. It's called TurboVax. If you know anybody that's having trouble getting, finding a place to get a vaccination in New York State, it's not every state, but in New York State, you can type in your zip code and it gives you a whole list of pharmacies and what they have available. And I mean, I know many of my friends still scrambling around.
Yeah, I have a friend too. TurboVax, V-A-C?
TurboVax, TurboVax.
V-A-X. Okay, I'll give it to my friend.
Yeah, just type it into your Google thing, TurboVax. You'll open it up, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You can type the zip code in.
Okay.
I did it for my daughters in Farmingdale and Walgreens. There was a whole bunch of Walgreens that seemed to have availability. Yeah. It was very cool. I'm thinking, how did this not? How is this only being developed now?
Right.
Well, a lot of the availability is coming from cancellations, especially on the New York City side, right? They get cancellations every day. People want, especially now with the one shot from Johnson & Johnson, yeah. People are anticipating that. But I found that when I did go on the New York City site, they put you on hold forever. I'm sure you all experienced that. But they also offer to give you a call back and keep your place in line. Yeah. My wife didn't do that. She waited. Nothing happened. I did put my number in. They called within a half hour. And the person who I spoke to spent a lot of time with me. I think it's a different dynamic when they call you. Yeah. As opposed to when you're waiting for 2 hours or an hour and a half, yeah, and you get the person, you're not in a great mood, and they don't try as hard as they can to get that.
Where did you go, Bruce?
It was the New York City site. So
no, I mean, where did you get the shot? Aqueduct?
Oh no, I'm getting it Monday. I got an appointment this week, and I got an appointment for Monday, and I got my wife one for the 20th, unfortunately.
But where are you going?
Aqueduct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
That's good.
Very good. All right. Everybody stay well, stay warm, and keep selling, keep going.
By the way, Tim, I'm growing this out long enough that when I'm ready, I'm going to make a pillow out of it.
My pillow?
My pillow, yeah.
It's a little
Joe's pillow. Joe's pillow.
My pillow.
My pillow. That's a little creepy, not for nothing.
Well, it's better than, duck feathers. Anyway.
All right, on that note, we're going to leave Joe to go make his hairy pillow.
I'd have to grow my hair for 20 years to get enough to make a pillow. All right, folks.
All right, guys. Lane, I'm going to call you in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Tim,